Hey look! Revo made a video on Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and now he's making a video on Titanfall 2. It's come full circle! Haha yes, very funny. You'd think that I'd cover more than 2 games in this channel, but here we are again. Titanfall 2 is a game that subverted expectations. It launched between the blockbuster hits of Call of Duty and Battlefield, and gave the impression of being a similar Twitch shooter affair. Needless to say, it did so much more than that. With a high multiplayer skill ceiling and a finely tuned campaign, it showed how Twitch shooters should be done. I could sing my praises for it all day, but let's talk about my favourite aspect, referred to as the slide hop. Slide hopping is a great way to keep your momentum in a game where movement is key. To initiate a slide hop, you need to hold crouch to enter a slide, jump, and then keep jumping every time you land. It's relatively straightforward, but it takes time to achieve the muscle memory required. This move is great, and it can be chained from other maneuvers. For example, opening with a slide results in a slide hop slightly faster than running, but chaining it from a wall run will be noticeably faster. You can then further chain it into additional wall runs to build up speed. This feature hits the sweet spot for movement strategies. It requires time and skill to pull off, but doesn't have the steep learning curve of its inspiration, the bunny hop. This means that it's accessible without being so easy that it gets dull. This is a design mindset that makes the multiplayer as a whole deeply satisfying. But let's look at the campaign where the slide hop makes a massive difference. The first playthrough of the campaign is already pretty quick, not in length, but in pace. In fact, the game's tutorial features a time trial map to acquaint you with its movement system. After completing the entire campaign for the first time, you might move on to the multiplayer and then forget about it. But that is a mistake. For if you do return, slide hop in tow, the entire experience changes. The fast game just got faster. By comparing a standard run to one with slide hopping, you instantly notice a difference. Slide hopping can be used in tandem with the design of the levels to breeze through them, turning an enjoyable action game into an exhilarating ride. Good timing and use of level design turns battle arenas into momentary obstacles as you fly past. You take jumps that you normally wouldn't risk, or find yourself travelling across areas that would be invisible walls in another game. This is because slide hopping was an intentional decision by the developers, and they designed the game to make it feasible. If you need evidence that this was intentional, well, there's a loading screen tooltip that tells you to use it. More subtly, you might notice the weapons in the campaign are highly damaging, with some of them capable of one-hit kills. This is to encourage you to keep moving, as having good aim on the move means you don't need to slow down to kill anything. My personal favourite weapons are the shotguns, which require you to get up close and personal for some really satisfying kills. Slide hopping also ties brilliantly into the game's story progression. When you start the game, you watch a video on how the pilots are highly skilled individuals, made even better with their titans. They draw attention to the fact that you're a simple rifleman to start with, without the qualifications or the skill of a pilot. You're given your titan BT early on, but you didn't earn him, you inherited him. As the game progresses, you get better at its movement systems as a pilot, and combining your on-foot weaponry with your titan abilities. Towards the end of the game, you realise that you've become a pilot, not due to any in-game story fluff, but through your own achievements and skill. The things that make pilots pilots. Slide hopping is a step above this, the step from a learner pilot to a master. It ties into the story as an example of your improvement, and you feel like you've earned it. That sense of achievement is what makes slide hopping so great, and Respawn Entertainment fully realise this through their campaign. Slide hopping is a brilliant feature, but it's by no means enough to make a bad game good. That's why it's a relief that Titanfall 2's campaign is excellent, with a consistent level of quality across the board and a wealth of variety to keep you occupied. The campaign also acts as a great place to learn the game in your first playthrough, but also to perfect slide hopping on subsequent playthroughs, meaning that when you return to the multiplayer, you become an unstoppable killing machine. Okay, maybe a bit stoppable, but at least you'll look damn cool doing it.